I'm host Eric, host of Talking with Famous People, and today is what you might call an ordinary day. You might call it that. And why is it so ordinary? Well, let me tell you. It's because, and this is pretty important, it's because I'm not on any Adderall. So, that makes it ordinary. Acacia says, I might. I don't know what she's referring to. The title says, Can ordinary be the best? I guess she's saying she's ordinary and the best, maybe. I'm not sure what she's saying there. Big Dog Mofo, good morning. I've got some time to kill, at least an hour, until cartoons come out. It's 5:30 in the morning, Sasaki and Peeps comes out. Call it ordinary. Well, today's an ordinary day. That's the problem with it. It's an ordinary day. I'm living life drug free. And obviously, I'm not a huge fan of that. I'm not super underslept though. I had like a sleepy week day yesterday. And then, I slept all night last night. And I woke up at 4 in the morning feeling not sleepy anymore at all. But also, understandably, not really amped up. Good morning, Lady in Red. I hope you are doing well. I hope the morning is treating you with the tenderness of a dawn sun ray caressing your shoulder. The rays of sun that the dawn offers, in case you aren't aware, are much more prone to caressing you than other rays of sunlight. You could call dawn forward in that fashion, maybe a little handsy. The sunlight of dawn is a little handsy. It'll grab your boob if you're not careful. So I know it's reached around me on a few occasions. And I'm like, hey, sunrise, keep your hands to yourself. Okay? Keep your wave particle hands to yourself, sunlight. I didn't say, good morning, sunshine, can you please molest me? But, yeah. Dong sunray. The sun has a dong made out of sunshine. You finally got your first short video. Well, congratulations. Congratulations, Lady in Red. When she doesn't feel good, the sun hits her and she hisses like a vampire. Wow. Well, at least you don't hiss like a possum. Possums are the grossest of all hissers. I think we can all agree on that. Demetrius DeMarcus says, "Hey, old timer, isn't it nap time?" Um, maybe pretty soon. I don't think that has much of anything to do with my age, however. I actually just got up. You agree to disagree, huh? You think that possums are not gross when they hiss? Well, you're wrong about that. They are gross. Demetrius DeMarcus, I am so excited to learn or to infer from your comments that unlike me, you don't need very much sleep. Well, you can agree to disagree. I will agree that you're wrong. I'm right. How about that? And then you can agree to disagree with that all you want. But I've got some good news for you, Demetrius DeMarcus. What we can't do is have you determine whether I agree to disagree. Well, I agree to blow that bar rip in your face. I agree for you to suck it. How about that? Are geese uggos when they kiss? Oh, when they hiss. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Sean Madden says ordinary is best. KE says morns and afternoons. Demetrius DeMarcus says unofficially, I've decided I'm in charge. Well, I mean, Demetrius DeMarcus, you can decide that even officially if you'd like. The problem you have is that deciding and manifesting in reality are different things. Lady in Red, you do have the right to remain silent. And you can choose whether to exercise that right or not. That's implicit to every right. It's part of the definition. But I do appreciate the fact that Demetrius DeMarco decided to visit with us here today and to expose himself to the internet's greatest experience. Oh, I didn't ask you to remain silent. I'd prefer you not remain silent, actually. I appreciate your chat contributions. I'm very accustomed to having periodic little slap fights with people, especially new people who come in and assume they know who I am and what I'm all about based on the fact that I'm old. You know, I'm actually only 52, but a lot of people call me old. Hi, Blue Elvis. Good morning. So, you know, the PFP looks like some dude from my memory. I don't know who the PFP is. I don't know what that means. The poof. Can you explain what you mean, KE? Because I'm confused. Yo, boy, Biran. What's going on? I'm confused because I'm old. We old people are easily confused. You know how it goes. Well, I'm making myself another cup of coffee. You know why? Because I deserve it. That's why. Because I deserve it. I've got a full hour to kill before Sucking Peeps comes out. I wish they'd make another season of this. For fuck's sake, what are they doing? Why haven't they already made another season of this? This show is fantastic. You know? I don't know. The anime people need to consult with me across the board as to what they should make more of and what they should not make more of. Like, they should make more of World Trigger already. Make more World Trigger. Make more Fire Force. Why are we not seeing more of those shows? Instead, we get even more One Piece, which is just shitty. Let's face it. One Piece is shitty. Let's just all admit it, finally. That's one piece of the puzzle to correctness, is for us all to admit that One Piece is shitty. You know? Hi, man with the great machete. Can jog me memory. Have you turned Irish, Acacia? Seriously. Instant. Bro, just make coffee already. I did make coffee. It's just cold. I have to heat it up. So I put it in the microwave. Because I made it in this thing, but I didn't want to leave it on all night, you know. Because sometimes I like to save a little electricity for later, you know. Later on, I might need to use more electricity, so. I'm just like, fuck it. I'm going to save some electricity right now. That's the kind of rebel I am. I'm a rebel. Alright. Now that we've discussed my rebellious nature and the rebellious ways of saving electricity. But really, could there be any bigger middle finger to the man than saving electricity? I don't think so. Let's go have a health tube outside here in the garage. And then, you know, then we'll return inside. We'll discuss important matters some more and work our way towards the onset of cartoons. Which happens, of course, at 5:30 when Sasaki and Peeps comes out. Yes, Sasaki and Peeps is one of my favorites of the new season. It's absolutely spectacular. It's a great way to kick off the weekend, you know. There's only 3 good anime days this season on Crunchyroll. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The other days, most of them have one show that I can watch. Maybe one of them has 2 shows I could watch, but only Friday, Saturday, and Sunday bring a loaded schedule of hits, you know. Have you seen Death Note? Yes, I've watched all of Death Note. I thought it was good. The first 2/3 of it is better than the whole of it. And it kind of devolves a little bit towards the end. So like changing, like killing off one of the main characters and changing him with a different main character is just kind of like, are you serious? Why are you doing that? But, you know, such is life. Pretty much I've watched every good anime that's not like a girly one. I scrape the bottom of the anime barrel these days. If it isn't brand new, I've either already seen it or it isn't any good. Sometimes I even rewatch older shows shows that I've seen before, but they weren't very good, so I don't remember them very well. But they were good enough to watch. Like, I rewatched the first season of Banished from the Heroes Party. I decided on A Quiet Life in the Countryside, which the second season's better. It's going on right now. But the first season was not very good and not very memorable, so I rewatched it. Let's see here. Yeah, but the only but like only on shows post 2014, which is one of the worst eras for storytelling in anime. Oh, I mean, that's completely wrong, KE. That just is you projecting your current lack of watching as an aesthetic value or something. Somebody who's actively engaged in anime of all eras, I can tell you for sure that it's only gotten better, New stuff's consistently better than older stuff. I get that you're not watching the new stuff, but that's not because it's not as good. It's definitely better. And this is somebody who, like I say, I scrape the bottom of the barrel. It doesn't mean I've watched a whole shit ton of super old things. They tend to be not as good, and they don't retain my attention as well. Storytelling's more slow paced, etc. Same with movies. Like if you go back to the '80s and watch some of the movies like Ferris Bueller's Day Off or whatever, it's incredibly slow. People's tastes have improved. There's less tolerance these days for masturbatory third slot inning or whatever. Yeah, I just couldn't be happier with this state of anime right now. It's just they're making incredible stuff. Just like there are so many great shows since 2020. I made my top 20 list of shows starting in 2020 or later, and I was gonna do a top 10 list, but there were a solid 20 magnificent shows. Okay, well, KE, that's just because you're arbitrarily limiting the scope of your of your survey here. If you say classic shonen, well, obviously that's going to be older cartoons. But if we're looking at anime in general and saying quality of product and quantity of great stuff, it's much better now than it ever was. And you don't know otherwise because you don't watch the current shows. So shut up already. It's like you're arguing with somebody who's as up to date as conceivably could possibly be about anime, and you are definitely not. So why are you arguing with me about this? Just because you don't watch it anymore doesn't mean it's gotten worse. Well, I thought Hunter x Hunter was great. I enjoyed it. I didn't like where it ended. Just like I didn't like where Black Clover ended. Well, I'm not talking about manga. Okay, I don't read manga. So there you go. That's why I'm not talking about it. I'm not talking about new manga because I don't read it. Okay, well, KE, but they're still different media, right? No, you don't. I can evaluate anime entirely on its merits. I do not need to know anything beyond the scope of the media I'm actually consuming to understand its quality level. That's absolutely false. There's absolutely zero reason to presume that would be the case. So, there you go. Like, you pretending that you know about contemporary anime because you read manga is like me pretending like I know about contemporary feature films because I make YouTube videos. You were hoping when I was in the hail the other day that I would dance a jig. Okay, well, whatever, KE. I don't even want to argue with you about this. You're just being classic ENTP, argue about anything. And who wants that? Nobody. I don't want to argue with you about this. Well, so today we've got people coming into town, or one person at least. I don't know about Acacia and Ruben, but Cameron will be coming into town today, and that should be fun. I'm looking forward to seeing him. Obviously, I'm not in my most energetic state of being at the moment. I'm feeling kind of super chill, not very Dewey Decimal System. Are those two people wrestling or dancing? Tell him to bring me a baggie. Oh, he'll bring weed, I'm sure. He usually does. Well, KE, please don't present my correct understanding of anime as a deprioritization on writing. That's fucking insane. Okay? You can try to position the fact that you don't watch anime currently as something other than you don't watch it, but that's just you lying to yourself. Obviously, you don't have as much time to watch anime as I do. You have a job and stuff, etc., right? And that's fine. You don't have to continue to maintain expert status on anime forever. All right? You've got important things to do. You've got to watch this live stream and you've got to go to work and stuff. I've got to watch this live stream. I've got to make this live stream, not watch it. But after I'm done making this, I'm going to spend the rest of the day watching all of my anime. You, on the other hand, are probably going to have to go to work or to sleep at some point. And, you choose to enjoy food in a really dumb way. So that means you're going to have to work on food, you know? You're going to have to make something. You're not just going to be able to microwave something. So you got a lot tougher situation than I do, KE. Yeah, KE has to sleep too. Meanwhile, I have the time, energy, and will, the drive, the dedication, the stick to itiveness to watch every bit of even remotely good anime. So, that's why I won the 2023 Anime Watcher of the Year award. You were talking about me. I did sleep all night. I went to sleep super early yesterday after sleeping in super late too. So I'm pretty slept out at the moment, but I'll definitely be going back down for a nap here this morning later. Because it is, after all, sleepy week. And I made it I made it 2 weeks with that bottle. In an ideal world, I would make it 3 weeks. But how many worlds are ideal? You know? What percentage of worlds do we imagine might be ideal? I would say not a huge percentage. Atlantis, obviously, was an ideal world. Who here thinks that Atlantis existed? I'm going to ask a poll. Did Atlantis really exist? There. By the way, what do you think about France recognizing the right to abortion in the Constitution? I I think it's bad, but I don't really care, I guess. You know, how much do I want to care about that? Not very much. So, what's for breakfast? Asks Lady in Red. Eggs, oatmeal, cereal. I think that I might have a donut. Deft Artisan says, Eric, do you think in lengthy decision trees? My INTJ? What does that mean? Um, do I think in lengthy decision trees? I'm not really sure even what that means. Do I think about like, okay, well, if this goes like this, then I'll do this, and if this goes like this, then I'll do this. Uh, well, no, I think I have very good instincts about where and when trying to do conditionalities for too many possibilities becomes futile. I think that my dad did not have a good sense of that. It was an any third thing where he'd try to think out too many possibilities and the conditions, the conditionalities they're relating to. Um, it's one of the distinctions I noted between, say, first slot any and third slot any. My dad would want to have contingencies for possibilities that were uh, remote possibilities, He had trouble distinguishing between things that were relevant enough to plan for and things that were unrealistic as concerns. They say when trees are very close together and each of the trees' roots are twined together. Yeah, well, I think we got a couple of trees like that here in the front. In fact, there's two trees, but they seem to kind of be coming from the same spot in the ground. So maybe that's the kind of trees you're talking about. All right, let's step outside. I'm feeling, I guess you could say I'm feeling a little fussy today. Sometimes I feel a little fussy, a little moody, um, when 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 in my first couple of days off of Adderall, I consistently get, a little fussy. But how do I think about things? I think about things haphazardly most of the time, really. Just think about this and that and the other thing, and you know, like because I was kind of moody yesterday, Rachel asked me what I was thinking about on multiple occasions. Because she's stressed that, because I'm a little moody, it might be about her or something. Of course, it has nothing to do with her. It's just me being a little pouty and kind of a dopamine deficit. But because she did that yesterday, I have at my disposal like multiple things I thought about yesterday. Like, when I talked to my daughter on the phone last night, and her friend April was over at her house. After I got off the phone with her, I thought about how when I was in my 20s, my friends were super important to me. I spent as much time with them as I could, etc. But that now that I'm older, IRL friends spending IRL time is of low priority to me. I like it when we do have people come, like Cameron's coming, Keisha and Ruben are coming, presumably. I try not to count those chickens till they're hatched. Cameron will be here for sure today. And that'll be nice, Be nice to hang out with Cameron, pull some bulls, maybe do a little live streaming. Show him the new place. Maybe he can help us figure out how to turn the water on. Hi, Winston's mom. How's it going this morning? If there's only one of it, ordinary can be the best. So, are unique things are unique things ever ordinary? My point in that title is today is going to be an ordinary live stream. There's going to be nothing extraordinary about it. It's probably going to be a fairly short stream. You know, it's a sleepy week stream. It's early sleepy week, too. It's like the early Pleistocene of sleepy weeks, in that they're both early. All right, so if you're taking a set of unique things, then the uniqueness is what's ordinary about them. And one of those unique things can be best. All right, fine, Chaos Fuel. I concede that you have answered the question. I think you've done a good job of answering the question. Anyone ever ate a hamburger on a donut for a bun? I've never had that. I it sounds like something I might order, but I've never had that. Now I kind of want to have that. Not right now. I'm actually not hungry at the moment. Oh, Rachel. Rachel did something very annoying yesterday, but it's my fault that she did it really because I've been just not fixing this for such a long time. I have to replace the weather stripping on the front door now. Okay. Really though? Do I have to watch you eat? Oh, trouble. Oh, trouble. It's a nice calm stream this morning, huh? Sparsely attended, which is fine. Since it's not going to be a particularly long stream anyway. It's just ordinary. It's just an ordinary day. Ordinary stream on an ordinary day. Having ordinary dreams in an ordinary way. If you like things that are ordinary, you're going to love this stream. It is so ordinary. I'm just getting your dandruff, dude. You get a lot of dandruff. Rachel told me the other day that when a cat has its tail in the form of a question mark, that means that they're happy. So I've been watching Trouble's tail lately. Presumably he's happy right there, yeah. I'm sitting here, I'm watching him eat like I'm supposed to. Yes, you're a silly boy. Yes, you are. You're a very silly boy. And you've got question mark tail. Yes. Oh, yes. What a happy boy. I'm still right here. I'm still watching you. You're a silly kitty. This is the kind of boring activity that typifies an ordinary day. Hi. You like ordinary days, huh? Because on ordinary days, I go back to sleep. And I'm much more in keeping with the habits of a cat. You know, get up, eat a little bit, go back to sleep. All right, ordinary boy. Are you done eating now? You want to go outside? All right. The answer was yes. He did want to go outside. All right. So, well, you know, my cat likes me to watch him eat. He's what you might call an anxious cat. He has kind of an anxious attachment style. So, that's why marriage is jogging on him. Yeah. Your cleaner came? I like cleaning. You know, I don't like cleaning very often. But it feels kind of satisfying to clean. The tube is lagging bad. Wow, that's good to know. I'm reading about how to find the main water valve. It says try to follow the path from the hot water heater. Mine is outside on the south facing side of the house. Yeah, it's outside on the west facing side of the house in a little closet. So okay, I'll check on that. Thank you. It's water tank water, lady in red. So it's different than normal municipal water, and it's different than well water. Like we don't have a water meter because we pay a certain amount a year for $600 a year for unlimited water. Anyhow, we'll figure it out. Cameron knows how to do things like that. Sure, he'll be able to figure it out. I haven't even tried to figure it out yet. No, we don't have a leak. We need to turn the water on again. We need to get the septic tank repaired, and when but it still works. But we still need to get it repaired. Anyhow, the septic tank people turned off the water when they did the septic tank inspection and didn't turn it back on. So we've got to turn it back on. Of course, take man from Atlantis. Listen, I'm just asking whether Atlantis existed. I am not claiming that I'm from Atlantis, okay? Just to be clear. I'm not even from Atlanta, but I can't believe Atlantis is winning so much. Because I guess I would say, hmm. I mean, I'd be inclined to say no, probably. But I guess, you know, it's kind of a broad question in the sense that there could have been some island that was called Atlantis that went under the sea due to a volcanic eruption or something. Although you'd think that would make more island, not less, but even so, it could be buried by lava entirely. So, certainly it's plausible. I don't know if it was the Atlantis that people think of, which has, see you later, lady in red. And keep in mind, you're always welcome to come and go as you please without informing us. Didn't they find new evidence in the Sahara Desert? You think Atlantis was in the Sahara Desert? How could an island be in the Sahara Desert? Yeah, well, I'm not talking about the resort hotel called the Atlantis. I'm talking about the mythical city of Atlantis. You know, that's fine too, Lady in Red. That's fine. I've always maintained that one of the wonderful things about live streams is that there's no need to do all that social stuff. But yeah, that's just my third slot FB being selfish, I suppose. Anywho, uh, Atlantis. I have been watching some videos, you know, like I do on YouTube sometimes. And I watched this video about this guy who believed he had found not the Atlanteans, but the other civilization that was active at the time underneath Mount Shasta. So I was watching that. That was kind of fun. Do I think there used to be a super advanced race of people a long time ago that somehow lost all of their civilization and stuff? I don't really know. It seems plausible that humans have been around for a lot longer than people think. It seems plausible that there was some ancient civilization that reached high levels of technology, but and that after a certain number of years there simply wouldn't be any artifacts left. Lemuria and Atlantis got into a thermonuclear war and sank their continents. The Lemurians fled into Mount Shasta, and that's where they've remained ever since. That's right, the Lemurians. That's what that video was about. So, I thought that video was relatively entertaining. Like, certainly that's not inconceivable that, say, a couple 100,000 years ago, maybe say 1,000,000 years ago, 1,000,000 years ago, there was a earlier manifestation of the same human civilization that we have now that blew itself up. Saif Rashash from Dubai says, I really enjoy your show. Well, thanks, Saif Rashash. La means lake in Tibetan. Does it? It's good to know. Um, After I ended my rant, YouTube recommended me a title called The Masculinization of Anime Romance. So I'm not the only one who noticed it. He's not necessarily in Dubai, Ruben. He's from Dubai. Yeah, I had to double check, but any real evidence points to the Sahara Desert. Okay, so like, are they saying that Atlantis was an island and then it got smushed in the middle of Africa somehow? How did that happen? Scooby Potamia. Was that the the land back in the day where everyone was a member of Scooby Doo? Is it because of the Eye of the Sahara? I don't know. I don't know much about the Eye of the Sahara. The largest river used to be there, bigger than the Amazon. Well, obviously, if there were some sort of huge cataclysmic event that happened, say, 1,000,000 years ago, I think it's fair to say that we wouldn't have any archaeological record of the civilization that came before that. If it were sufficiently cataclysmic, if you're talking about global tidal waves, thermonuclear war, meow, meow, meow. Yeah. The city of Velma. The original city of Babylon was known as Velma. Google it and you'll see what I'm talking about. Eye of the Sahara. Eye of the Sahara. The Richat structure. The Richat structure is a prominent circular geological feature in the Adrar Plateau of the Sahara, located near the Adrar region of Mauritania. It's an eroded geological dome. I see, well, you know what? The Sahara Desert's not really in the middle of Africa. It's pretty much near the left of it. So how did it come about? Magma caused in some fashion, huh? Fringe theory of Atlantis site. Most classicists believe that Atlantis was a fictional rhetorical invention by Plato rather than a real geographic location. Well, I mean, isn't the whole point of Atlantis that it went under the sea? So why would it be someplace specific? It would just be under the sea. Just like the characters in Little Mermaid. So Yusef here says, I live in the Sahara. I've been to Mauritania multiple times. My city is Guelmim. Well, Yusef, do you believe that the Eye of the Sahara used to be Atlantis? Do you think that's the case? Have you ever found any old Atlantean artifacts in Mauritania? Yeah, you've got to kiss the girl. Maybe somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah, well, I don't know where Atlantis would have been exactly, but I'm saying that isn't the story that Plato told about an island that was buried under the sea somehow, like disappeared under the sea? That would make sense if there was some kind of explosive volcano, that instead of making more islands just blew up the island. It's conceivable, right? Maybe leaving a crater in the bottom of the ocean floor or something, like what do you call it? A caldera. Yeah, that's conceivable, right? That's a lot more conceivable than moving over to Africa for no reason. Seems to me, right? Atlantic Ocean west of Portugal. Hence the name. Hence the name. But isn't it more likely the Atlantic Ocean was named after Atlantis than Atlantis was named after the Atlantic Ocean? Wouldn't you say that makes more sense? Because after all, you're talking about something that Plato was writing about. When Plato was writing about it, was the Atlantic Ocean still called the Atlantic Ocean? The Sahara shore is on the Atlantic. Well, I know, but my you're ignoring my point. Yusuf says, I don't know, to be honest, but I believe these sands were covered in water someday in the past. Yeah, they may have been. But the story of Atlantis is specifically saying that Atlantis disappeared under the ocean, right? Isn't that what Plato says about it? If we're going to take as something other than a fictional device utilized by Plato, then wouldn't we take it at face value that Plato disappeared under the ocean? In 1931, Harvey Spencer Lewis wrote using the pseudonym Visar Spinla Curve, wrote a book about the hidden Lemurians of Mount Shasta. This book is widely regarded as the reason for the popularity of the legends of Lemurians. High hunters' locomotives. He described it as a circle surrounded by water. Isn't that an island? I mean, isn't that basically how we define an island? As a circle surrounded by water. I mean, I know not all islands are circular, but yeah, maybe it was under the ocean. Tony Kip, I like your circle. It's cool. I broke my arm yesterday while riding my bike. I'm sorry to hear that, hunters locomotives. I hope you got a cast for it. It could be the Eye of the Sahara and the river that was around it. Yeah, well, I'm not really sure. But I am going to say that if Atlantis did exist, you can't find it anywhere anymore. There's not a spot you can point to and say that's where Atlantis was. Atlantis is a top secret military base deep underwater in the Pacific Ocean, surrounded by advanced stealth technology. This base is nearly impossible to detect or access by any means. The base houses a variety of nuclear weapons, including intercontinental ballistic missiles capable of reaching any target on Earth. Okay, I'll let you in. Silly cat doesn't want to go into the cat door. He's too good for the cat door. What a crazy cat. We're making it one of the most secure and secretive facilities in the world. Its existence is known only to a select few, and its mission is surrounded mission. The security surrounding Atlantis ensures that it remains a powerful deterrent to any potential adversaries ready to defend and protect against. Well, if its existence is known only to a select few, sleazy one, does that mean that you are one of those select few people who knows about it? And if so, should you really be telling us about it? Yeah, Atlantis sunk beneath the waves, Tony Kip says. All right. So we should all keep that in mind. Only 28 viewers? Well, that was quite a few viewers for me, really, sleazy one. The fact that I'm still doing that thing where it's like popping up to 28 or something and then dropping back down to 20, that's a really good sign for me because it means I'm still getting some new viewers who pop in temporarily at least, and that gives me an opportunity to at least potentially, well, now it does. That's what I'm saying, Boba Fett, is that it's actually a good sign that see, now it's at 28 again. Yeah, right. It's actually a really good sign that it's doing that it's popping back and forth like that, because it means that it, I get a certain amount of attention on the shorts feed, or a certain amount of time on the shorts feed for some people, and some of them come in and try it out for a few minutes and see if it's worth anything. So that's really all I could possibly ask from YouTube. It's a lot more than YouTube's ever given me before. Should do a primer video for all the new peeps. I mean, the thing is, there's no reason to do a primer video, right? Because what I'm hoping they're going to subscribe to is exactly this: me sitting in my garage, having a health tube slightly off camera, discussing whatever is in front of us today. In this instance, Atlantis and the Lemurians as well. And the idea that there were previous to our own some advanced civilization that that had a nuclear war way back in the day, right? And the thing about that is, if it was sufficiently cataclysmic as indicated by people who had this notion, then you'd have to acknowledge that there's not going to be any archaeological record of it. Am I bloody? I'm not bloody, no. I'm blood free. Well, I mean, I have blood, but it's all inside of my body. Plato said Atlantis lay in front of the Pillars of Hercules, what is now the Strait of Gibraltar. Oh, well, you know what I say: Strait of Gibraltar, Strait of Schmalter. So, way down south, below South Africa. How did it get all the way up to the Sahara Desert then? Every day people come in and ask me this question. Australia is part of Moo. I am an Aussie. Oh. The Kingdom of Moo. It's got a cool name. Who's that, me? I had my period last week? Did I? Rachel's having hers right now. I've already watched you eat so much this morning. Just get over it. Just get over it, cat. Had enough of your nonsense already. Okay, well, enough I have watched you eat so much this morning. Get over it already. I'm tired of watching you eat. This cat. Oh, the Lemurians are from Mu? Okay. I didn't know that. So, if Australia was Mu and Atlantis was south of South Africa, then weren't Atlantis and Mu pretty close to each other? I mean, I'm not super good with my geography, but wouldn't that mean they were pretty close together? Isn't Australia down there someplace? Atlantis is covered in garbage now. That's why we can't find it. Huh. Well, does it attract garbage? Is that why it's covered in garbage? Or just the whole ocean is covered in garbage? Tony KIP seems to know Sleazy Juan. Um, and seems to have history with Sleazy Juan. So that's interesting. Wakanda? I didn't ask if Wakanda existed. If it was a civilization, it would have been more extensive than one place only. Well, maybe you're just assuming imperialism, Carlos Baeva. Hi, what is this live about? Well, right now it's about Atlantis and the civilization of Mu. So it changes what it's about all the time. Grow up, little man. Who are you talking to? Sleazy Juan? Or me? You're telling me to grow up. I gotta tell you, no. I refuse to grow up. Sleazy Juan says I'm here to spit on my fingers and enter your country illegally. What just happened? I don't know. Sleazy Juan and Tony KIP apparently have some history prior to arrival here, from what I can tell. What just happened? Exclamation point. You really need a question mark in there as well. Case 33. Americans in geography. Yeah, well, fair enough. I'm no geographist, okay? No, I live in California. So. I mean, he's been around here now for, I don't know, maybe a week. He might have entered into the stream intent on trolling, but I think he discovered upon arrival here that this isn't your normal live stream, you know? So I'm not very easily upset by attempts to troll me, and I continue to treat people like individual people until they prove themselves entirely unworthy of it, you know? Accordingly, a lot of people come in here maybe with certain intentions only to discover we're too cool around here. And it's better to just enjoy being around such wonderful people. You know, that's how it is. That's just how it is. I don't know what else to say besides that. You know, we're going to have a fairly short stream today, as I've indicated, because, well, it's already 5:30. Oh, well then why did you think he's a troll? I didn't see him trolling or anything today. All he said was, "Is that Aussie for love me a long time?" I'd hardly call that try hard trollery. That's just, sometimes you just gotta let that go, you know. It may not be it may not be ideal, but let's not get all Karen-y, you know? We all have to deal with a little suboptimality in our life occasionally. Otherwise, you just turn into Karen. I don't think any of us want to do that. Cheers. And that's one to grow on. Maybe even two to grow on. So obviously, I'm a little bit, under dopamine today. Sadly, my reuptake is not currently being inhibited. But that's okay. You know what? That's fine. I'm growing up into a big boy these days. Okay. Bye, Tony KP. My goodness. Talk about a fussy pants. I thought I was fussy today. I am a little fussy today. No, he's not going to bring me up anything. I would have had to set that up in advance more, no. So I'll just do that for a while. It's fine. That's fine. Hi, Gobtree. Hi, Megan. How's it going? Sleazy Juan, I'm going to have to agree with you in this instance. That, I get the stick out of your butt already. Seriously. But whatever. I get her perspective on it too. She just wanted to have some pleasant conversation. She didn't want to deal with your childish meow. But still. And sure, I'll agree with her that it was childish meow. But people in general have to learn at least some level of skill, at least a little bit, in just ignoring childish meow. Sometimes it's best to just ignore it and let it go. Yeah, well, Sleazy Juan, I think asshole's too strong. You were being a little juvenile, but, you know, you have to make a decision somehow, right, as to what kind of stream is this going to be? Is this going to be a place where I protect everybody's tender feelings at the expense of anybody who's a little raw or edgy? Or is it going to be a place where, you know, I have sort of tolerant understandings of communication acts and a fairly a more reasonable line as to what comprises a line to cross, Obviously, I want the latter. You can't have it both ways. So that's just how it goes. If no, not you, Marie. We're talking about this person who was here who left, whose name was Tony, Tonikip, Tony Kip. And Sleazy Juan made kind of a juvenile joke, and she got super Karen-y about it. And so my point is, look, if somebody's that sensitive, then that's just they're just not going to be able to hang around here because I just don't prioritize protecting sensitivity that much, you know? Like I said, it's fine, Sleazy One, because if somebody's going to be that sensitive, then they're not going to last around here anyway, you know? It's it's a cool place, but it's not a very Karen friendly place. Would your FE? What's WBU mean? You know, not everyone's a pussy these days, but we did. You know, there. You could point to a general pussification of things and not be wrong, right? However, that's not necessarily a terrible thing. Um, a certain amount of what one might call pussification is a reasonable enforcement of an attempt to sustain civil norms or whatever, but I don't know. As somebody who who hears all kinds of shit all the time from all kinds of people, I have trouble sympathizing, right, with somebody who can't deflect at all. Because, you know, it's like people come in here all the time and try to get me upset about something. It's just standard operating procedure. Hi, Capilla. Do you need more food? We got the other cat here for a change. Move along, Trouble. Let your sister eat. Alright, so we got a real treat in store today, everybody. Normally, you get to watch Trouble eat. But today, you get to watch Capilla eat. Oh, yeah. That's an exciting new experience for everybody. We're all accustomed to watching Trouble eat. But we don't get many opportunities to watch Capillo eat, do we? Trouble? Leave your sister alone. Yes, you're a good kitty. And Daddy loves you. You, unlike your brother, do not really want me to pet you while you're eating or watch you eat, you know. Mostly just like to be left alone to eat in peace like a sane person. Now Trouble's like, okay, you've got to watch me eat. If you're watching her eat, you've got to watch me eat. Hi, Trouble. I'm here, but I don't know if you really want to eat more. Yes, you do. I want to eat a little more. Oh, you crazy cats. I tell you, these cats. So anyway, Yeah, this cat is a great cat. You know, guys, don't get a lot of chance to look at her because she doesn't require me to watch her eat. She's a perfectly normal, easy cat, a sweetheart, all good things cat is this cat. Unfortunately, accordingly, she's not constantly bothering me. Trouble, on the other hand, is, and so we see a lot more of him. All right. You're from Central Russia, from the city of Oral. I'm from California. I'm from near Yosemite National Park in California, right in the middle. I've been to Russia before. I've been to Moscow and St. Petersburg. So, not a whole ton of Americans can say that. I was there probably 95, maybe 96, somewhere like that. It was a really memorable trip. You know, like walking out into Red Square toward St. Basil's Cathedral gave me goosebumps. It was like, oh my God, I'm actually in this place. Snow is falling. I've seen this only in pictures and in the movies, you know. It was really a memorable moment for me. Seeing that iconic place in this ideal conditions, right? It's like snow is slowly falling on Red Square. It was great. Do I talk to Spanish people? No, I don't really talk to Spanish people. Do you have any tips for someone who wants to move to California alone at 27? Don't. California is super expensive. If you don't have a job lined up already, probably ill-advised. Walrus said, I didn't ask. Well, I say all kinds of things that are not responses to people's questions. So, in this particular instance, I am being responsive to your statement, but you'll note that you didn't ask for my response to your statement. And yet, here I am, offering it nevertheless. Which is one of the things you're going to have to deal with around here. I tend to make statements without asking your permission first. I know, that might be wildly irresponsible of me, but just how it is. Well, coming on dawn here in lovely Mariposa, you can see the sun starting to lighten the sky. It'll be a Lovely day today. Almost all the snow has melted. I see a little bit there in the shady spots and under the lip of the hill there. But it's almost all melted. It got down to low 30s last night, but I suspect right now it's probably creeping up to 40. It's warm enough outside that just in this one light Pepsi jacket and my sweatpants, no hat, I can comfortably smoke at least a cigarette worth of time. There goes one of the neighbors off to work. And I'll be heading off to work myself pretty soon. I've got Sasaki and Peeps to watch. I've got a bunch of anime to watch. I mean, there's at least 4 shows come out today that I want to watch. Maybe even 5. That's a good day's worth of Crunchyroll. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday all have multiple shows that I want to watch. But it's either Friday or Saturday that's the best day. I noted that people were so angry at the Unwanted Undead Adventure having a 0.5 episode. Like they had a 6.5 or a 7.5. I was pissed about it too. But they were so unhappy about it that it has the most dislikes in history of Crunchyroll. Even though that's a great show. That's why people were so upset by the 0.5 episode. But I agree with the general sentiment. Like, just don't even bother. Just take a week off. You have 6 episodes of a season and then you have a 0.5 episode. Come on. That's just ridiculous. Just take a week off. Don't pretend like you're putting something out. Anyway, I dream someday that this channel will go through a big anime phase. And we'll get a lot of people in here who want to discuss anime all the time. Because, I am one of the world's foremost leading experts on anime. And it would be nice if all of my anime watching had some purpose. Don't you have 2,885 native tree species? I don't know how many native tree species I have. I'm not even sure I have native tree species. Maybe someone else does. I'm not sure. Have I ever watched Yu Hakusho? Yu Hakusho? Sounds familiar. I'm not sure. It doesn't stand out as something I can definitely remember. Is it? What kind of anime is it? I mean, the thing is, I've watched so many anime that it's quite possible for me to. I mean, I didn't scare him away. He contacted me, asked me to book a typing session for the next day in the middle of the afternoon, my time. I booked it for 1 o'clock. He declined the invitation. He hasn't been back since. Ghost Detective, huh? I have watched a number of Ghost Detective anime, so it's possible I've watched that. Yeah, Cone Man. Hero Lamb asked if I scared him away, but I mean, it just went down like I said, you know. So I don't know what else. What else he could have done differently. I didn't even communicate with him by the email. He sent me his requested day and time. I put it on the calendar and had Google Calendar send an invite to him, as I always do. He declined the invite. I haven't heard from him since. So that's all there is to it. Let me look at the release schedule because I'm getting tired again, you know. It is, after all, sleepy week. I'll need a nice nap this morning, for sure. Okay, so Saki and Peeps has come out, yes. But what I want to know is, what time do the next ones come out? So, Unwanted Undead Adventurer 6:30, Weakest Tamer 7:30. And then Freerin is at 8 o'clock. Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic is at 9 o'clock. I watch all of those. I don't watch Demon Prince of Momochi House, nor do I watch Snack Basui. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shows that I want to watch today. That's pretty good. The latest of them comes out at 9 a.m. So, given that there's an hour between the first 3 of them, I would be well served to try to live stream for at least 15 or 20 more minutes. Oh yeah, he sits in front of the bathroom every single time that I go to the bathroom. He sits there. He sits either right at my feet or at the door. Have I ever heard the song White Horse by Laidback? No, I don't think I have. I could listen to it in theory. Of course, I don't really need nor want his protection in that fashion, but it's from 1983, huh? All right, well, I'll check it out later. I don't want to get copyrighted. Ruben, Peter Thiel, something, Milo, etc., big Trumpers. Well, the Big O is a good watch. The main character is Roger Smith or something generic like that. I'll have to check it out. Blue Elvis is in Mexico. No, I didn't get the water on yet, but I haven't tried yet. Megan will be butchering venison all weekend, making sausages, etc. Wow. I'm guessing that somebody affiliated with you, perhaps you yourself, has killed a deer. So, good for you eating the deer. Is this a plate full of weed next to me? Well, I'm not going to lie. Yes, yes, it is. It is indeed. And I thank you for drawing my attention to it. Well, I'm like my mom before me. She woke up really early and went to bed really early. When I am not on Adderall, like I'm not currently, then I'm the same way. I go to bed super early, I get up early, but even when I am, I still am that way really early. I just don't go to bed early like I should. I still get up early. Oh, you cloggy SOB. Um, you know, also it's the case that in an ideal scenario, I don't just sleep at night. I take at least one nap during the day because I don't necessarily sleep as much as I need to at night. Oh, God, that's exactly what I'm trying to avoid. God damn it. I should have just not fucked around in the first place. That's what I get for fucking around. Just don't try to half-ass things, Eric. Just do it right. I'm just smoking what is contemporaneously called flower. But I use a torch because, well, multiple reasons. First of all, most importantly, this is a lighter I never put in my pocket and walk away with, right? So it's easy to find. Second of all, this bong is so cloggy that it won the Clogging World Championships 3 years in a row. And third of all, yeah, torch lights it up quicker, pulls it all, makes it more likely to pull all the way through. It's just, it makes life easier. You see what I'm saying? It clogs again. Why? Because it loves clogging more than anything in the world. Like, devoted its life to mastering the art of clogging. Yeah, same stuff. It's not endless. We are slowly burning through it, but we got a while left. We need to get seeds so I can buy some weed. I mean, so I don't have to buy weed. That's what I meant to say. Not so I can buy weed. I gotta buy seeds so I don't have to buy weeds. Yeah, I watched Jujutsu Kaisen. Excellent. It's currently not producing new episodes, but absolutely excellent. It deserves its 4.9. I'll buy them online. In California, you can order them online and it's fine. Hello, Fallout and such. How are you this morning? Anyway, good morning, Rachel, darling. I'm doing pretty well. I'm doing fine for a sleepy Friday morning. I'm looking forward to watching some cartoons in a little while, going back to sleep, taking a little nappy poo. I was rather hot all night last night. I bet Rachel was too. And the reason is because we ate this very fatty meat last night, this pot roast. And according to Survivor Man Les Stroud, ever since he said this on one of his shows, I've paid attention to it and I've noticed that it's true. If you eat fat for dinner, a good amount of fat, then you will be a lot warmer during the night than if you just eat something that's not fat. FNA, is this me in 20 years? Maybe. Maybe it is you in 20 years. I'm not sure. Do you currently like to smoke a lot of weed and watch anime? If so, it's very plausible that those habits will not change. Because 20 years ago, I liked to watch anime and smoke a lot of weed, and I still do. Now, granted, back then I was just watching Naruto Shippuden, but there wasn't nearly as much good anime back then. So, yeah, we were both. I should have turned down the heater last night because I anticipated that was going to happen, and then it did happen, but I never took any action to fix the problem. Thanks, Fallout and such. I am pretty chill. I'm especially chill this morning because I don't have any Adderall, which is fine. It's just something that I just have to settle into, you know. It's good that I have some time off from it because it definitely is for me uh, diminishing returns. What was my favorite part of Naruto? Well, I mean, when Kakashi and Naruto are chasing after Deidre while Sakura and that old grandma lady are fighting against the puppet guy, the bad puppet guy, not Konohamaru. Um, that whole part was fantastic, you know. All right, see you later. Fallout says, thanks for your subscription. How's your back, Rachel? That's the most significant thing about Rachel and uh was that not your favorite part, Tim iPod? Hello, France. Someone stole your toast, huh? I like your name. Yes, I'm American. I'm from California. The sunny land of California. Probably, I suspect that most anybody in the world who knows about America at all, which is probably everybody's heard of America, they probably also know about California. California and New York are both famous enough, maybe Texas as well, that probably most people in the world know about California, Texas, and New York. What's this channel about? It's about this. It's exactly what's happening right now, anthology. So at the moment, it's about addressing your question. Prior to that, I was addressing the question posed by someone stole my toast regarding my nationality. Sometimes I talk about um, certain specific subjects that are on my mind. Other times I'm just killing time, you know. Dude, literally just a loner online. No, I'm not a loner, Joshua Quijada. Rachel Strauss here is my wife. She's sleeping upstairs. Well, not sleeping at the moment. And we're actually having guests come to town to stay with us. One of them stay with us. One of them stay at our another property we have down the street. The other guests. So not a loner online. I also have a daughter who lives in Los Angeles, and we obviously stay in contact with her. I see her regularly. That's fine. Anyone seeking attention from strangers for validation has a sad existence. Well, yeah, let me keep you informed, Joshua Kahada, whatever you want to say. Because it's important for us to stay informed. So it really depends on your attentional matrix, you see, as to what you hold up as absolute values. I actually enjoy engaging with people online quite a bit. I enjoy the process of it. That's why I don't just upload videos, but rather have this opportunity for a rich and fulfilling engagement with you. This is an amazing investment channel. I've already made 20,000 this week. Yeah, it's not. This is not that. I will tell you that much. Yeah, I have some fucking wisdom and shit. There's some really disgusting ads on YouTube lately. Like people straight up lying and scamming or trying to profit from tragedies, etc. Really? I don't know because I have YouTube Premium, so I don't see the ads. So get off the internet. Go out and live. No, thank you. I'm fine being on the internet. Not only am I going to continue to be on the internet putting up live streams as I always do, but after I'm done live streaming, I'm going to be on the internet watching cartoons. So I don't really have a lot of time for going outside. After I watch cartoons, I'm going to need to take a nap. That's obviously best done inside. Now, I am at some point today going to have to go outside to check the mail. And depending on what's in the mail, I may have to drive down to Oakhurst. And if that happens, then that happens. If that happens, then I will be outside living, I guess, for a stretch of time. This channel is for cool people. We play with the Pokemon cards. Good point, Money. You make an excellent point. I don't think Acacia seems trollish. I think Acacia seems, if anything, like she'll dive in to smooth things over to bring more of a lighthearted approach to things. So I find her kind of counter trollish. But, if you find her trollish, then, I mean, you are polar here, Lam. Maybe you just, yeah, you already tried that and I removed it already, SSJ16. You and a billion other people have come in and said that. It's super boring. So just don't. Thank you, Rachel, my angel of delight. I'm glad to hear your back is feeling better. He's talking about enneagram, of course. Right. Good point, Carlos Paiva. Good point. Yeah, the way I used to pronounce it, because when I first encountered the word, I just, I never heard anybody say it. I just read it. So the way I pronounced it, it would always in the captions mis mistranslate it. So anyway, I just stopped pronouncing it like that. Enneagram is how I pronounce it now. But I don't talk a lot about enneagram. It's kind of like more troublesome than it's worth because invariably people want to make more of it than they should. Have you ever seen Death Note? Yes, I have. And interestingly, you're the second person to ask me that question this morning. I have watched all of Death Note. I thought, the first two-thirds of it was better than the last third of it. So, yes, I've watched King of the Hill, but not comprehensively. But I watched it when it was coming out back in the day. Hi, Adil Hag Badri. How's it going? Do I support Palestine or Israel? This is the second time I've been asked this question this morning. I'll answer it this time. Obviously, I support the well. I I think Israel needs to stop in its policies and let Palestine be its own state. There's no way it can justify continuing to maintain this weird apartheid state. They shouldn't be thinking it's okay for them to set terms by which they'll let the Palestinians govern themselves. I am an otaku. His whole cabinet catching on fire in case someone opens it was the stupidest shit I've ever seen. I did not watch the State of the Union address. I was busy being an otaku. Actually, yesterday, Rachel and I were watching Antiques Roadshow on YouTube, which is such a better way to watch it. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Adil Hagbar Badri. There's no way Israel can justify persisting in its current policies. It's ridiculous. They just stop pretending they have any moral high ground here. They don't. Abdul Aziz Saiful Ayev, salam to you too. I'm sure I did not pronounce your name correctly, but I did my best. Yeah, the Antiques Roadshow we watched was great. I really enjoyed it. It was, we watched one called Tear Jerkers and we watched one called like Best Things. Like each guy from the roadshow, like the furniture guy or the lady or the whatever, they'd say, "This is my favorite thing that I ever saw on the roadshow." Hop into a stream, usually every day. I didn't yesterday, but that was the first day in weeks that I hadn't. It was the first day of Sleepy Week. Today's the second day of Sleepy Week, and I'm already streaming again, so, you know. You thought I didn't like clutter? Well, watching Antiques Roadshow does not acquire me any objects. Just because I like Antiques Roadshow doesn't mean I want to go out and buy a bunch of antiques. No. No, Hero Lamb. I just like Antiques Roadshow. It doesn't make me want to have antiques. Yeah, I don't want to go to the roadshow either. I just like to watch Antiques Roadshow. Rachel, I enjoy watching it. How do I feel about early morning guitar? I might play a song or so before I wrap it up, I suppose. Um, my hand feels rested, I would say. I wonder if there's any cool stuff there, like old cars or guitars. Well, they do have guitars on the and paintings and stuff on the roadshow. Sometimes it's too early. Yeah, well, what song I could always play when I'm not feeling it, regardless of how much I'm not feeling it or am feeling it. Right now, I can't tell if I'm feeling it or not. But I can always play Matter of Mood because that's a song expressly about uh, not feeling it. I only ever saw shit on there like old ugly desks and other junk. Well, I gotta say here, Lamb. I don't know if Rachel would agree with me on this. She might. I saw the ugliest Tiffany silver thing I've ever seen yesterday on the roadshow. It was hideous. So the lady who brought it in was like, this is really ugly. The person who looked at it agreed, right? But it was a piece Tiffany had made for some exhibition. Yeah, the Colombian exhibition in Mia City, right? It was so ugly. Anyway, it was still worth like $20,000 or something. So it had three, instead of having like one handle or maybe one on each side, each thing had like a three handle thing, like brass knuckles kind of, but it was just silly looking. It was as silly can be. All right. So here's the plan. We're going to make a firm plan and we're going to stick with it this time, okay? And we're not very good at sticking with plans. We know that. We are good at using the royal we so that you guys are all roped into this, okay? Anyway, we're going to make a plan this time and we're going to stick with it. And the plan is as follows. We're going to go outside. We're going to have a health tube. We're going to spend a couple of times, a couple of moments meow and the meow about whatever. And then what I'm going to come in and do is I'm going to play Matter of Mood, and then I'm going to end the stream, and I'm going to watch cartoons, and then I'm going to go back to bed where I belong, where I will have lovely dreams. I had some strange dream last night. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was like I was trying to help people escape something, like a building was flooding or something, or it was on fire. And one of the people that I was trying to help escape was this former student of mine that I haven't thought about in years, who was Taylor Amott's little sister. I can't even remember what her name was now. But somehow, like, she was there, and it's like I was having trouble getting her out of the building or something. I don't know. It's an odd dream. The squirrels want some cutlets. So I'm going to add uh, a stop on my Google Maps here because squirrels want cutlets. All right, you squirrels. Here. Oops. There we go. There we go. Okay. There. I gave the squirrels their cutlets. Now I'm going to come back out here, but I'm going to go get my coffee first. I see that somebody has chimed in on the Atlantis question. I'm glad to see that. In the affirmative, yes, he says Atlantis does exist. Well, I can tell you this much. Squirrels exist. Not only do they exist, but they love cutlets. So, Squirrel Watch is a regular segment here on Talking Advanced People. If you think about this live stream as like a morning drive time radio show, Squirrel Watch is one of the segments, like, celebrity goss or whatever. We don't have a lot of celebrity goss here, but we do have Squirrel Watch. It's a segment that can last somewhere between 2 and 5 minutes. In other words, approximately the duration of a health tube. One squirrel leaves, another squirrel replaces him. Now, I tried to pour it on the wall, but obviously some of them spill on the ground. So, accordingly, we've got one squirrel down here looking for droppage. Now, he's given up on that. He's coming up the back now. But he's probably going to get stuck at the back there because I spilled quite a few back there. In the meantime, we've got Squirrel 1 and Squirrel 2 over here. Let's watch Squirrel 1 for a while. He was the original squirrel, and then he got moved over by Squirrel 2. Now, you may remember Squirrel 3 from the ground. Well, he's now come up to the wall. You can see him there. We've got some three squirrel action going on. Although due to the zoom, you're only getting to see one of them at a time. Over to zoom out, you can see two there. There's the third one. Can't quite get all three in frame. So you're just going to have to deal with dual squirrel action, okay? It's not as good as triple squirrel action, but it's pretty good. That's some two squirrel action for some two squirrel worlds. Two squirrel boy and a two squirrel girl. That's me and Rachel and all of y'all. So, a lot of channels can offer maybe single squirrel action, but double squirrel action? That's something you're really going to get only here, probably. And come on a good day, you might even get triple squirrel action. I'm not making any promises, but it's hot, it's sultry, it's double squirrel action. Hot and sultry like the Brazilian rainforest. That's what Time magazine said in their review of Talking with Famous People. I said, it's hot and sultry like the Brazilian rainforest. I was surprised as well that they said that. To me, I never thought those were the first two adjectives that came to mind, but oh, you have regular brown squirrels? Sorry. We have what I like to call Yosemite silverback squirrels. I'm the only one who calls them that, but still, it still counts. Okay, I'm not watching you eat right now. Just stop. No, it doesn't matter how mournfully you meow. All right, now we're going to play Matter of Mood. And then we're going to call it a wrap. When I was younger, it seemed that everything gleamed. I don't know what happened to me, but I've lost that sense of urgency, and I don't think that I'll ever see it again. If you follow my lead, you'll discover I'm loster than you. And you'll want to know the way to get back at to wherever it was you thought you knew. And tomorrow will be just like today. I'll be lost then too. It's a matter of mood as much as a matter of will. And the things I do and the direction I point to still seem a part of me, though departedly. And I wonder if I'll ever see them again. Bum-pa-dee-da, da-da-da-da-da, ba-ba-dee-da, da-da-da. Ba-ba-dee-da, da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da. Well, I hope you enjoyed that song. Thanks for being here, everybody. I enjoyed spending time with you this morning. I'm going to end this poll now. And the winner is yes, Atlantis did actually exist. So thanks for being here. And you can take that to the bank now. You can tell people the answer to the question about Atlantis. The answer is yes. You can just cite this poll here is how you know it. So have a great day, and don't forget to eat plenty of cheese.